Yep. Okay. So welcome everyone back to the welcome everyone to the second technology stream ever. I think now. Yeah, the second one. So the last time I streamed on the technology dive series, we talked about servers and you know the service providers that we use and some stuff, and how to run your own server should the need arise. But today we're talking about something different, not about, not overly technological, but also something quite interesting too. Let's talk about operating systems. Yeah, let's talk about operating systems instead. Okay. Okay, hello, Ame von Wolfenland. Yeah, hello. Yeah, I know you. Yeah, you like to try out lots of curious technologies too. So yeah, let's dive right into the stream. Yeah, let's start the journey by the ones that we have heard first. The big three. The history of the big three itself is very interesting. The three most popular operating systems in the world: Windows, macOS, and Linux. Yeah, Windows is the name of the game for desktop computers. Basically, if you see a desktop computer, it most likely runs Windows more often than not. And then macOS. Yeah, it's basically Apple's favorite operating system right here. They like it so much that they put them in basically all of their devices. iOS, tvOS, watchOS, you name it. Yep, they actually run something similar to macOS under the hood. Also, you might think of Linux as the nerd's operating system, and you are probably not wrong there. But it's also the operating system that literally powers the world. Almost every website that you visit is powered by Linux behind the scenes. Also, a lot of phones actually run Linux thanks to Android, which is running on Linux. Although it's a bit of a unique one. I will tell about them later. First of all, let's talk about Windows, which topic has just gotten much more interesting because just around a few days ago, Microsoft announced the newest version of Windows, that is Windows 11. But yeah, Windows have two branches of versions. The one that is historical, the one that runs on DOS. And the first Windows is actually a DOS application. And then there's the NT branch, and that started with curiously NT 3.1. But it's still going strong until today. And NT is still the basis of the upcoming Windows 11. Windows history is in itself a very interesting one. There can be an entire stream just talking about the history of Windows. Also, yeah, okay. Yeah, good evening, Bunga. Yeah, I'm right now talking about operating systems, the common ones and the not so common ones. But yeah, Windows history is very interesting, and I can dedicate an entire stream just talking about them because it's so long. Have you even heard Temple OS? I have heard. I have not tried it yet, but yeah, let's. I want to see it, but let's try it for another time perhaps. But yeah, I'll talk a bit about it in the end of the stream because yeah, I actually mentioned it. I think I actually mentioned it at the end of the stream. Okay, yeah, not quite, but I'll talk about them at the end of the stream. Why it's not here? It's okay. Yeah. Windows history is very interesting in itself. And yeah, Windows 11 is the thing that is like very hot for the last few days. Yeah, you know, Microsoft when around Windows 10's release said that Windows 10 is the last version of Windows. Sure thing, Microsoft releases Windows 11. And they just basically upgraded the minimum system requirements that Windows needs. So yeah, time for some upgrading there. Also, yeah, hello Maruyasa. I'm now talking about operating systems, the known ones and not so well known ones. We're now at Windows 11. The screenshot here. Yeah, Windows 11. I think Windows 11 is probably going to make lots of people upgrade their computers. And wouldn't you know it, there are already TPM scalpers already. People are just selling TPM modules and just checking up the price. They just broke their promise to make Windows as a service and thus betrayed Windows as their service. Yeah, I think that's basically it. That's basically what Microsoft is doing here. But aside, I also feel that, you know, Microsoft needs to do something new and bombastic so that, you know, news people can, you know, come cover them again so that, yeah, PR purposes. But even in the leak build, the internal version is still like version 10 internally. It's probably going to be incremented, but I'm not that sure. But yeah, I think Windows 11 is just going to make lots of people upgrade, and then yeah, things are not good. Things are not looking pretty. With, you know, I am honestly in disbelief seeing that TPM scalpers even exist. TPM, the trusted platform module. You know, usually the scalpers usually scalp like GPUs for mining or something. But what happens is that TPM modules. I just can't believe that. Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. Yeah, how can a module that is actually designed for security purposes be, you know, scalped, and it happens thanks to Windows 11 requiring them. Yeah, gotta love Microsoft and their decisions making ripples towards ripples in the market. Yeah, enough Windows rant. Let's talk about other operating systems. Yeah, UNIX is not unique. I know that isn't the origin of the original. Okay, test. Okay, my computer just randomly glitching out right here. Okay, yeah. Let me say good. Yeah, Unix is not unique, and I know that isn't the origin of the name. I forgot what it is supposed to mean. And Unix inspires a lot, and I mean lots of operating systems. Like the other two is like Unix inspired, And lots of other operating systems are inspired by Unix too. And I guarantee you, like 99% of the mobile operating systems are run on systems based on the Unix model. Okay, test. Yeah. Okay, is the stream malfunctioning? Because it sure looks like to be malfunctioning right here. Okay, let me actually check again, because yeah, it's the connection. It might be having my connection might be having trouble here, or either my computer. I hope I don't have to restart the computer here, because it's going to be nasty. Okay, let me test first. Yeah, is the stream running okay? Is the stream running okay? I might need to restart. I might need to restart the stream for a while. Let me check. Because it sure looks like okay, it looks like the window here is not doing well. What happened? It's okay, yeah, okay. Oh, it seems that I forgot to do this. Okay, I forgot that, you know, yeah, these are the previous slides. Yeah, the three most popular OS operating system in the world. You know, Windows, macOS, and Linux. I've talked about them. Yeah, let me just reiterate to the slides here quickly. Windows have two branches. The historical one, the DOS branch, that started with the very first version of Windows and ended with Windows ME. And then the anti-branch that is still going strong. And then the Windows 11, along with the run that I did. Yeah, Windows 11 is nice feature-wise, but it will be quite the horror for people to actually upgrade to start using it. And then Unix, yeah. Elementary OS is Linux. So yeah, Maria said, what about elementary OS? Yeah, it's Linux. I will talk about them later. In Linux, but we are still in the, you know, Unix section here. Yeah, Unix inspires like a lot of operating systems. Like, I can say that 99% of mobile operating systems are run on systems based on the Unix model. 99%. How? Well, let's start with the nerd operating system first. Yeah, Linux. Yeah, I think the year of the Linux desktop is not gonna happen. It's like partially satire at this point. However, it's the most popular operating system for servers. And even Microsoft embraced it, porting stuff like .NET and PowerShell to run on Linux. And it's curiously a very popular operating system for phones too. Android is technically running on Linux, but it's just very weird. A very weird Linux, but Linux nonetheless. And Linux is also a very popular choice for other devices like routers. If anyone have ever heard like OpenWRT, yep. Wait, Linux is just kernel? Can we call a kernel an OS? Well, I just like to interject for a moment that the thing that you... Okay, that's a copy pasta that I don't even remember fully. But yeah, the typical Linux distribution have Linux, the Linux kernel, and several common user lentils. Like the most famous one is the GNU. It's the GNU utilities. They provide like the compiler, the C library, and some other things, and then some other things are just written by other people, basically. Open source is pretty complicated. Android is Linux. Yes, technically. It's technically a Linux distribution, a very weird one, but Linux nonetheless. And yeah, about distributions, unlike Windows, whose editions are easy to understand. Well, yeah, totally right. And then I see that, like, well, the retail ones are like, okay, Windows Home, Pro, and then there's Enterprise Education, and then there's S Mode, and then there's, the editions without browsers and without media players in Europe, and then there's IoT editions, and then there's mobile editions that has been discontinued, and then, okay, can I stop ranting about Windows for a moment here? Yeah. Linux has several different distributions developed by different people with different purposes in mind. One of the first distributions that people think of is the Ubuntu distro, famous for being quite easy to use. And then, a step up would be like an Ubuntu derivative like Linux Mint, and Elementary OS is on Ubuntu. And then, for companies, they love to use something named Enterprise, like, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, or probably if they can't afford the licenses, they might as well just use something like the former CentOS, or Alma Linux, or Rocky Linux, or just insert any other Red Hat Enterprise Linux source force here. And then nerds would brag that they use Arch Linux. Okay, time to reflect on myself for a moment. Yeah. I wouldn't brag in this. I wouldn't brag like in this stream. Well, let's see. Well, I don't brag that I use Arch Linux. I brag that I have Yuika Mitsumine as my wallpaper right here. I talked about it a bit on my debut stream, the UEKDE aesthetic, where I have the KDE Plasma desktop and Yuika Mitsumine as my wallpaper. So yeah, Android as far from Linux as Linux can be. Yeah, as far from a typical Linux distribution as Linux distributions can be. Because yeah, Android has some pretty weird user space stuff. It's pretty weird. Linux kernel, but all apps based on Java JVM. Yeah, Android. Annoying like that. Like, I have only a tiny bit of understanding based on my experience with custom ROMs, but yeah, Google is weird. Before talking about Android, let's talk about Chrome OS first. Yeah, it's a somewhat interesting operating system. It's what if you put what Microsoft did in the 90s into the logical extreme. Remember when Internet Explorer... Remember when Internet Explorer... Okay, technical difficulties right there. Let's talk again about, Chrome OS. Like, it's what if you put Microsoft did in the 90s logical extreme. Remember when Internet Explorer is... Okay, it's still stabilizing, yeah. You know, remember when Internet Explorer is so integrated into the operating system? Okay, yeah. Just what happened today? It's pretty weird. Okay, let me try again to just say the actual topic at hand because it's getting pretty annoying. It's okay, yeah. It's getting pretty annoying right now. Yeah. The Google Chrome OS has the Google Chrome browser itself as the user interface. That sounds lovely, right? Yeah, and then imagine in a world where you can do everything from just a browser in 2014. Let that sink in. But to Google's credit, they're pushing hard web apps too. And now we have things called progressive web apps. Nice. And then about Android, yeah, Android runs on Linux, but the user line is not what you usually associate with Linux generally. And it has, to put it mildly, pretty unique and architecture that I would not even try to dwell on this stream. No, it's just quite mind-blowing what it does. Okay, looks like that it's okay. My system is pretty weird, so I'll try to my best to stream this while my computer is probably on fire right now. Not literally on fire, but just suddenly malfunctioning out of nowhere. Hope you can stay with me while I try to deal with those problems. But you know, we're done in the 3 big operating systems. Let's talk about the smaller ones. And then yeah, this is my favorite operating system jokes. Locally here, do you live in BSD? Because if yes, then congratulations, you have an operating system named after your place. Yeah, it's one of the best puns, operating system puns, local operating system puns that I have ever heard. I just like the similarity in the initialism between the BSD operating system. It's the Berkeley software distribution and the place name BSD here in my country. It's glorious. And yeah, it's a pretty old one, but it's still alive. Some of the most famous variants of it are the FreeBSD, NetBSD, and OpenBSD. And it actually has history that can be traced back to the original UNIX. The original one created by AT&T. Bumi Serpong Damai. Yes, basically that. I kinda like the similarity in initialism between BSD, the software, and BSD, the place. So yeah, I just can't hold it to put it in this slide. Well, you know, these three variants of the BSD with the BSD name on it, like FreeBSD, NetBSD, and OpenBSD. The most famous variant of BSD is not those three, those who has the name BSD. Can anyone guess what it is? The variants? If you know, please chat in the comments. Let's see if you can guess the most famous variant of BSD. Wait, does BSD literally the successor of UNIX? Historically, kind of, yes. Yeah, because you know, the name itself might be a hint of where it originated. The Berkeley software distribution. You know, it was originally developed at the University of California, Berkeley, hence Berkeley software distribution. And then yeah, it was originally developed as UNIX, and then originally based on the original UNIX source code from Bell Labs, like the original research UNIX. But then, you know, it was kind of rewritten because software licenses. Oh my god, it's always software licenses. And BSD does face a lawsuit that, like, it's quite nasty. The answer is obviously not OpenBSD. Obviously not. No, BSD is originally developed at IonBSD. You're using that place pun, but BSD is even older than Ion, isn't it? BSD the place. Actually, I don't know which one comes first. BSD the operating system or BSD the place? But yeah, the most famous variant of BSD is, well, let's talk about with some of the variants first before the BSD variants first before talking about the most famous ones. Let's talk about FreeBSD first. One of the more well-known BSD variants, and one that I would honestly am able to use as a daily driver because its installation is quite nice. It's not Ubuntu tier, but it's pretty nice. I can install it just fine, and then I can install software with it into it using the FreeBSD ports. And yeah, I actually have successfully installed, like, you know, KDE Plasma on FreeBSD. So honestly, I can use FreeBSD as my daily driver, as my usual operating system. It works fine. Well, fine as long as I don't use Docker, which is practically a requirement at my I work regularly with Docker, so I cannot move fully to FreeBSD, so there's that. You know, and then let's talk about the other more well-known BSD variants. Yep, it's OpenBSD. And the tagline is something that I actually remember from memory here. Only 2 remote hosts in the default install in a heck of a long time, which is like the exact wording on the website, and I somehow remembered it from memory. The last time I installed FreeBSD, it lags on hardware driver. It's not really a problem in me anything that because I use external mouse all of the time. Literally, the only thing I would get missing is the touchpad, which is a big deal. Nasty stuff again happening. Thank you. So yeah, sorry for the sudden disturbances. My computer is literally just having trouble. And so yeah, let's talk again about OpenBSD. It's very focused on correctness and security. And its latest release is literally nice. OpenBSD 6.9! 6.9 everyone! Yeah, funny number, right? Nice! Also, my desktop is exposed right there, pretty much. May Tommy-san. Yeah, I miss Q, the game. And then the OpenBSD project also maintains several other important software in the server world. Like, for example, OpenSSH is maintained by the OpenBSD project. Hence the name, I guess. And then there's, yeah, OpenBSD is really focused on security. And so let's talk about the most famous BSD variant in the world. Which, wouldn't you know it, it's actually macOS. It's actually macOS. The most famous BSD variant in the world is macOS. To be fair, don't confuse this macOS with the the problem back then. I can't get the resolution right. Okay, I don't have that problem. It's probably because of, yeah, there's some complicated stuff that I have to do for the resolution, but it works. And then yeah, do not confuse this new macOS with the classic macOS that is just previously named system software. It's a class of its own. And as common knowledge has it, Apple suffered during the time Steve Jobs isn't in the company. And when he returned to the company, he brought with him a completely different operating system than classic macOS. The name is Next Step and it's based on a microkernel, the Mac microkernel, and a BSD-based userland. This is where I say macOS is a BSD variant. It's because of this. The kernel and the userland combined, it's called Darwin. And then some fun fact, the World Wide Web is invented on top of Next Step. You know, the very first browser is built on top of Next Step. And then, yeah. Oh, oops, yeah. Yeah. And then the next step would become macOS X. And then simply become macOS. Pretty simple, I guess. And then, you know, the core that is macOS is so good, Apple thinks that Apple brought it literally everywhere else. You're an Apple enthusiast? Name all operating systems Apple developed based on the macOS core. There are a total of 5 right now. It's macOS itself, of course, and then there's the phone operating system, iOS, and then there's the iPad operating system, iPadOS, and then there's the TV operating system, tvOS, and then there's the watch operating system, watchOS. And you know, the big two of the mobile operating system world is iOS and Android. You know what that means? Android is run on top of Linux, Unix based. The Unix inspired. It's similar to the actual Unix model. And then iOS, which is technically an actual Unix variant there. Yeah, 99% of mobile operating systems run something based on the Unix model. So that's pretty nice. Then let's talk about the other Unix variants. Let's talk about Solaris. Another Unix variant that I kind of tried it actually. First of all, screw you Oracle for killing off Open Solaris. You will be missed, Open Solaris. But of course, in the open source spirit, it continues at the form of the Illumos kernel and the Open Indiana distribution. So that's nice. But I think at this point, operating systems other than Linux is just not doing well. And especially Solaris. Yeah, there is not a lot of releases lately, so that's a bit worrying. And then there's the 5 words, 7 words, 5. Is it 5 words, 7 words, 5 words? I think it should be syllables. I forgot here. It should be syllables. It's one operating system that I'm very interested in. Anyone still use Solaris? I don't even know. Honestly, anything other than Linux is just on live support right now. Especially the commercially supported Unixes. Maybe some Oracle subsidiary. Yeah, you know the thing with Sun Microsystems and the acquisition of Sun by Oracle? Yup. Sun is the principal developer of Solaris. So there's that. But now let's talk about this interesting operating system. The name is Haiku, and it's the spiritual successor of a very interesting historical operating system, BOS. And thanks to the work of the developer team, it's surprisingly quite usable. I think Haiku is a dead project right now. Contrary to popular belief, no. They are just starting the timeline for Beta 3. Right, I just checked. And they have just started the timeline for Beta 3. They're pretty much still active. And the developers are quite dedicated in what they do. And yes, Haiku is surprisingly quite usable for developers there. And probably also for daily use, there's a pretty much quite usable browser there. It's not that. It's pretty much still alive. And then, yeah, I checked out the video of a fellow tech-oriented VTuber who also tried out haiku. And yeah, I actually have not used haiku in a long time, like since 2018 or 19, thanks to a lot of changes that I do with my computer. But I do use haiku in the past, and I quite like it. And yeah, most of the peripherals actually work. And even without hardware acceleration, the graphics performance is still very respectable, which is hard to say for most operating systems today. Haiku is very lightweight. Like extremely so. And yeah, if you want to check out this, if you want to check out the video, you can go to that link. I'll probably share it after the stream. And yeah, shout out to Ame von Wolfenland for making this particular video. The content is great. Please check them out. Literally no third-party apps for them. Okay. Okay, have you checked out haiku ports? Haiku ports contain a respectable collection of software. They have things like LibreOffice in there. And then browsers. Yeah, I quite forgot how many applications and types of applications in the repository of haiku ports, but it's pretty great. It's pretty great. Okay, and then let's talk about another pretty interesting operating system. It's Plan 9. Yeah, Plan 9 is based on very interesting concepts. Well, okay, it's easy to port open source software to haiku. Yeah, I think yes, because yeah, haiku has several compatibility layers, including a POSIX-like interface. So yeah, programming for it is it's more trivial to port UNIX software to haiku. But the Bay API itself is quite powerful. I tried to code with it, and it's pretty nice actually. Okay, then yeah, let's go back to this Plan 9. Given new life thanks to the incorporation of the Plan 9 Foundation, it was originally developed by Bell Labs. Yes, that same Bell Labs that developed UNIX. After they developed UNIX, they tried with more concepts, and then Plan 9 was born. I tried it before, and it's quite fun to explore actually. And does anyone want that I make a video on Plan 9? Talk about, installing it and then the experiences on using the operating system? If there are any interest, I would like to make it. Because Plan 9, while it's not as well known as UNIX, it's actually quite influential in the concepts that it will later lend to the distributed computing landscape. Never heard Plan 9 before. Is it even real? A little quick Google search say it's real. Why? It's real, and I have installed it and I have tried it. It exists, and I actually remember how it feels to run Plan 9. also, I apparently forgot to change the text again in here. So bless me. Yeah, I sometimes forgot the actual routine that I need to do. Probably exaggerate to test the pains of the vaccine, but it's no. Yeah, it should be no longer a big deal now, and I should just try to actually remember to change the text before I do stream, or just automatically fetch it with formatting. Yeah. Yeah, Plan 9 is real. I have tried it, and it's pretty interesting to explore the concepts. And then onto the slide that never made it in. Okay, yeah. There should be it. Okay, and I hope I don't dox myself in that particular spot. Okay, let's return back. Yes, other mentions. Yeah, the ones I mentioned on the stream is the ones that I actually tried and should be in active development. I checked all of their pages. And then there are a lot of other less known operating systems that are not mentioned. So yeah, it's a pretty large space to explore. And then there are other interesting projects that I have not tried, but I would like pretty soon. First is the Foxia operating system, which is another instance of Google. Is weird, but it has a pretty interesting architecture. And then there's the operating system entirely written in Rust, pretty new, recently hot programming language. And then yeah, about Temple OS. Okay, is my webcam even working? Okay, yeah. About Temple OS, it's a very fascinating operating system, not because of its interface. I have not tried it, but it looks to be pretty unique, if not slightly weird. It's because of the history of the operating system again, and the ties to the programmer who made the operating system. It's a quite fascinating story that probably other people have covered better than I can. I think a video that I can recommend on the Temple OS topic is the ones that I actually watch. The Down the Rabbit Hole video on Temple OS by Frederick Knudsen. You did not even mention. No, they're very underrated. Even after they created a base tool to make kernel run well and not just booting. The GNU Hurt? Honestly, that project is just... Oh my god, it's... it's... I said should be in active development. Hurt is pretty much not actively developed right now. It's pretty much not. It's very much dead. It just don't have any traces of activities right now. The last time I checked, yeah, and it's not that long ago, Hurt is pretty much just that. And it's just an example of when you're too ambitious for the time, and then the kernel is just not ready in time, and then Linux just sort of takes over, and then yeah, goodbye, Hurt. Yeah, it's a pretty obvious example of, not obvious. Well, it seems they gave up on making their own OS, yeah, because Linux already exists and the GNU people are using Linux. And then, yeah, but the other operating systems that, yeah, there's lots of, and the ones that I have not tried, I don't really remember pretty well, but those are the two that I'm really interested in checking out because of their architecture. The first one because Google is weird, and the second one because it's entirely written in Rust, which is a language that is very, very suited to operating system development. Has anyone heard of the plans to make Rust a third language for developing the Linux kernel? There's a reason for that. Yeah, the primary reason being the type and memory safety that Rust provides. It eliminates entire classes of bugs. And that's why there are people who is really enthusiastic in pushing Rust for the Linux kernel. And so when I see this operating system entirely written in Rust, so yeah, I was quite interested and wanted to try it out for myself, but I have not got the time yet. And if you have other recommendations, please do tell. I will be very, very glad to try them out. I tried quite a lot of operating systems, but not quite that many. So yeah, this is basically the end of the it's basically the end of the current technology dive stream. If you have any questions about operating systems, please ask on the chat and I will just wait for a while. I'll be just seeing. Yeah, I'm just looking at updates and some more stuff for the next ones. And also trying to see the chat from here because yeah, my computer is malfunctioning badly right now. I don't know if I can ask you this or not. Please do ask. If I cannot, I probably can refer to the resources that may be useful. So yeah, please do ask. But why people just reinvent the wheel? Especially that what happened on Linux distros. As I said again, some people just have different visions for what they have. What is the Linux system they want? Yeah, choice is pretty much a very important one on Linux distros, even more so than Windows. The one that Microsoft marketed as being the one of choice. Linux has even more, and so yeah, there's a lot of operating systems with slightly different focus. Like for example, like Ubuntu is like focused for being something that is easy to use. But then there are distributions that push them in the direction of more user friendliness, like Elementary, which is like quite really inspired from macOS. And then there's stuff like Linux Mint that gives more options. And then there's just Linux distributions that just say flag it to the the user friendly distros and just expose me everything that is available on the upstream projects. And so distributions like Arch Linux or even more involved like Gentoo got born. It's especially just because of the choices that Linux brings, that people just kind of make their own systems like the and yes, there are people who compile their own Linux. And I am one of the people who did it in the past. So there's that. But yeah, simply it's because people have different tastes and different visions for what they want, so they make different Linux distributions. Yep. Does that answer your question, Bunga? It's what I think is the reason why there are so many Linux distributions. Okay, I did. Okay, I did too. That's good for education, but for productivity, I guess that's do nothing. Just like people makes more and more Linux distro. I think I get the point for now. Yeah, yeah. Linux is all about choice, and yeah, people just kind of make things that suit their taste, and then more people just flock to the same place as them. I applaud the development team of all Linux distributions for what they do. They're like, all you do is pretty nice, pretty great and nice. And also about the what visions the people do have. Yeah, don't get me started on the inner system wars. Like, there are some people who are just really against System D that, another Linux distribution gets created, like for example Dev1. But I think that's also one of the reasons why, yeah, Linux is all about choice again. And I understand why people will do that. But yeah, I think that's the reason why there are so many Linux distributions. It's basically just people being people. If there are normal questions, I'll just switch to the free chat and then announce some more stuff. Okay, let me actually try to set up the things. That I actually require here. Well, no one can stop people being people. Yeah. We will just have to accept that there will be so many Linux distributions, and then yeah. Well, I will not move to the free chat. Do you agree that Linux desktop is now degraded at some point? Not fully so, but I will just say that Linux desktop will never become mainstream. There will be no the year of the Linux desktop. But yeah, it will be forever will be the underground niche one, because yeah, again it's all about choice. And then yeah, I really like the desktop environment developers for what they do, especially KDE, the community behind the amazing Plasma desktop, and I really like what they do. But people are especially just so gung-ho about choice, and a lot of people prefer just building their own desktop system with cobbled applications. So yeah, I don't think we're not fully so. The Linux desktop is marching on, and with new technologies, but it's probably just the people getting more insufferable. Just why major Linux desktop try to integrate mobile with desktop? Are you referring to the attempt that Ubuntu tried to make with Unity 8? Because I think that is so that Ubuntu can differentiate itself with Microsoft and Microsoft and Apple. Trying to be actually different. Well, I disagree with KDE use more and more QML on their Plasma. It makes lots of inconsistency. Yeah, I think it's because of Qt itself moving more and more towards QML. Yeah, I'd rather say that's Qt's fault rather than KDE. Not only Ubuntu, KDE too, Kirigami. Okay, Kirigami is slightly different in the regards that, because Kirigami is actually just a set of components that enables applications to be built for the mobile and desktop, but not in the sense of Ubuntu's just full-fledged. If you connect your phone to your, if you connect your phone to the keyboard, mouse, and monitor, then it will become a full-fledged PC. But well, Plasma has elements of that too. Yeah, it's something that actually that's way earlier, like KDE 4 early. So yeah. I think that's KDE thing, not Qt. Pure Qt C++ is always there, but KDE chooses the QML path. The more developed one is the more actively developed one is the QML one. So yeah. Besides, QML is one of the reasons that I think it's one of the primary reasons why KDE can be lighter than even XFCE. Like yeah, I really like what they do. I actually really like what they do with the transition to QML, because it feels quite snappy actually. Plasma 5 with the more switch to QML, but also because I actually did not notice I actually did not have a problem with the consistency, because yeah, as long it looks slightly different, yes, but yeah, I think KDE is doing a pretty good job at making the theme somewhat consistent. Kirigami is part of the Plasma desktop. It's used on apps like Discover. It's actually, I think it's actually part of frameworks, not Plasma. Let me check again. Yes, Kirigami is actually part of frameworks. And again, they're migrating lots of components to the another new component is pretty hard. So yeah, I kind of expect that some inconsistency will happen with the migration. But yeah, I actually pretty like what they do so far. And yeah, Kirigami is what enables applications like the... Okay, let me actually check. Yeah, it actually what enables applications like Marble to be brought to Android. And I actually have tried some KDE apps in the past too. Let me actually check the Google Play here. As a long time Quantum Team user, I miss a good old time where all Qt-based apps is in harmony. It's just like I have never felt that Qt has really that much of a customization. I always feel like Qt-based apps have more limited customizations when compared to like the Game Toolkit GTK Plus. Yeah, I just feel like it has less customization, even since KDE 4. So yeah, I don't particularly like using Phantom, so there may be bias in there. But I really like the default Breeze theme, so I just keep using it. And again, the Breeze theme combined with the Yui Kamitsumune wallpaper is just amazing. I like that so much that I probably would not change it even in the near future, no. And yeah, that inconsistency might be because you're using different themes on Qt. Yeah, regular Qt widgets and Qt QML, which use completely different theme systems. But KDE does a really good job. Yeah, KDE does a quite nice job at keeping the two themes quite consistent. But it was used to look uniform. Well, I'm one of the types that don't really customize my desktop operating systems that much, especially desktop environments. It's even a joy that KDE Plasma users can even change the theme at all, because you know what happened with GNOME. Yeah, if you want to complete customizations, then of course the desktop environments are not going to cut it. now what the desktop environments focus on is just, you know, making sure the default looks nice, and there's that, and that's it. It's, yeah, admittedly it's pretty hard for to actually support every team under the sun, so I kind of understand why the KDE team choose to focus on the teams that they actually focus on the teams that they actually make. So it kind of, but KDE is more and more about customization, right? Simple by default, powerful when needed. Yes, yeah, that's the tagline, and in some in some cases, yes, that's true. Like, I probably don't have much need for it, but I can absolutely arrange my desktop to look more like Windows 11, for example, or probably just look like very weird operating systems and layouts. But as for themes, I think they're really focusing on polishing the default look there, Breeze. They have a theme for that, and I quite like what they do, and I like to observe. Yeah, I like to see what they do, because what they do is pretty interesting. But yeah, the have you read Sujan, Fan Film, and LX Kid? Developer ran on what KDE chose the fact to use more and more QML? Well, again, yeah, people do people. I personally like the direction that KDE go, but for other people it might not be ideal, and people are free to rent whether they whenever and wherever they please. But yeah, there's people behind the project too, and they're not there just to please what you want. They also have to think about maintainability and maintenance. And yeah, QML right now is more actively developed than widgets, so I kind of understand why KDE went that path. But yeah, people do people. And Linux is all about choice anyway, so yeah, you can feel free to just use other applications. There are lots of other applications made for various purposes, and you're probably free to do that. But yeah, I kind of understand the viewpoint. But in the end, yeah, there are people behind the projects, and I really appreciate what they do. But yeah, choices are there to be made, and people, yeah, they can feel free to use whatever others have. Camel is more active development because it's still not really furnished, unlike the widget counterpart. Yeah, widgets is stable and mature, but okay, let me actually check what the comparison with Qt widgets and Qt quick, the actual camel part have. Yeah, I'm still checking because I remember that I still remember vividly what the more fundamental differences, but I'm trying to check it. Okay, first, yeah. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I think what makes Qt Quick is more active, more focused than Qt Widgets is probably because of the same reason the GTK people decided to make a large overhaul for GTK 4. I'm talking out of, I'm basically talking out of my back hole in here, but one thing that Qt Quick does is, yeah, if I remember if I remember to be exact, it's that Qt Quick is 3D accelerated. Okay, you linked that issue, but that is wow. Okay, that is okay. That is quite technical here. I will probably save that for later because that is surprisingly technical. And then it's been 3 years. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to read it, but yeah, I basically don't really like that. But yeah, that is probably something that it's something that I really don't want to dwell for a long time, or else yeah, things will become quite heated. There's a reason why the Qt developers made that choice. The KDE developers made that choice. But yeah, I'll probably just immediately go to the announcements right now because it's not getting good at all. There's one reason that I don't really follow lots of, Linux development stuff is because there are just so much, probably too much drama on the, operating system development side. The basic components, except for like, the aforementioned haiku. But yeah, I usually just enjoy more on, the probably I enjoy the web app space more than, the Linux desktop space, so there's that. But I'll just move away immediately to the announcements that I want to make today. Okay, yeah, sorry for the photos. It's just well to find a situation when I see drama between developers group, in this case KDE versus Quantum or LXQt, and I got the impact because I am in fact the user of both their products. And also, I think that that is not even a drama against KDE. It's just, KDE developers have a different approach. And it's actually an argument against QML, and I think it's fine if the developer of LXQt doesn't want to use it. They have their own way. Yes, so that I ended up ranting again. End of rant. That's why I don't really, that's why I don't really involve myself with Linux desktop discussions, because shit like this happens. Lots of just sometimes completely unnecessary dramas. But yeah, let's talk about the schedule for this week. I have completed the second technology drive stream in this one, the operating systems you might not have heard of. On 30 June, I will stream Idly Pride. I tried them out on the 24th of June stream, the Release Raider one, and the stream on the 30th of June is for basically of just reflecting on the past few days of play, and then just reviewing the actual loop and the daily play of Idly Pride. Voice the opinions of what Idly Pride's game is like. And then on the 2nd of July, I will stream Art Nights. For particularly the Mansfield break event, I should be clearing the EX stages in here. And then on the 3rd of July, I'll be streaming Bejeweled 3 again. Yeah, I will just be chasing the I will just be probably chasing the next grade level on Bejeweled, or probably try some more fast-paced modes like Diamond Mine or Ice Stone. But yeah, thank you for joining me on my stream. Yeah, I probably talked a lot out of my I think I taught a lot out of my expertise there. There's just so many unexpected questions that I did not expect to be so basically philosophically thinking about. But yeah, I'll be ending the stream right now. See you on the 30th of July. Let's see me play Adhie Pride again, so that you know what does the game looks like. Okay, see you then.